Hi, parents. My name is Jeff Overley, and I'm the elementary principal at the American International School, Dhaka. This presentation is meant to give you an idea of what the early years program, our pre-kindergarten program at AISD looks like. One big change that we're making starting the 2021-22 school year is that our pre-K classes will be multi-age, meaning that we will have 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds in the same class. Although this may seem like a big change to you or something that's different from where you are currently coming from, we would like to assure you that there won't be a lot of changes as we move forward with this. In the coming slides, you will learn from Miss Elaine, one of our pre-K teachers, and also Miss Nancy, our PYP coordinator, about this change, its benefits, and why we're choosing to structure ourselves this way at AISD. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nancy Snyder. I'm the PYP coordinator here at AISD. My role is to talk to the students and teachers about learning. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about right now. Why are we making this exciting change to the multi-age pre-K program? And it really is about learning and the students. The main things that have driven us this way are the ability to understand the students better by having them with us for 2 years and really seeing their strengths and their growths and their needs in one classroom group with one teacher and teaching assistant over 2 years. In addition to that, we see the connections that can grow over 2 years between the parents or the families and the school and the teachers. To really, again, understand the students and their learning, because these changes are about what's best for our students. And following on to that creates a great opportunity for the teachers of both classes to work together because they will have 2 classes with similar makeup, with a variety of ages students, where the 2 teachers can collaborate and co-teach and plan together and allow for different opportunities for all of our students in our pre-K program.
Hi, everybody. My name is Elaine, and I am one of the pre-kindergarten teachers. So, why are we making this change? I'm going to look at it from the perspective of the children learning from models and demonstrating leadership. So one of the things you would notice when you walk into a multi-age classroom in the early years is just the level of cooperation and collaboration amongst the children, regardless of age. You'll see younger children learn from older children's lead and are able to accomplish in many ways things that they might not have been able to do without the assistance of older children. And the older child, in general, they tend to model more sophisticated approaches to problem solving, and some of them then will assume that role of teacher and guide and support younger children. And this dynamic increases the older child's level of independence and competence, develops their skills. If we look at it from their communication skills, their language development in particular will really increase. And it's not just the older child who we would see a lot of language development, but also with younger children. Through their interactions with each other, the younger and older children's level of language exchange is just naturally greater, and thus has that effect of developing their language. And this idea of the older child teaching the younger child, we talk about this learning by teaching effect, and it can have such a strong positive effect on solidifying the child's level of understanding as well as their knowledge and skill retention. Another point of interest for research that we've learned is that children in multi-age classrooms are more likely to cooperate than compete with each other. The spirit of cooperation and caring makes it possible for children to help each other as individuals and not see each other as competitors. Another reason why are we making this change? Just greater flexibility So having multi-age classroom provides us with the flexibility in how we plan and set up the learning environment, as well as how we create groups for learning. We will use our knowledge about the children's interests, skills, their learning behaviors, how they learn, and to help create a flexible learning environment, as well as creating small groups that best fit the needs of the children. And in a multi-age classroom, the groupings give children the opportunity to learn in diverse groups of ages and abilities.
So we've already done a lot of things for the best of the students in our early years program that work well in a 2-year multi-age program. One is that our 3 and 4-year-olds have already been getting the same style of report cards with the same format and a narrative form appropriate for both grades. Another is that we have 2 sets of units that we teach over 2 years. So students in the same group for 2 years would have different units each year. Our 2 current programs of a pre-K3 and a pre-K4 are using the same standards to plan for the students and to understand student learning. These teachers in the pre-K program have already created a team that works together and plans together and have collaborated thinking about our written and taught curriculum. Finally, our spaces, like our small outdoor early years program, indoor play spaces, and classrooms have been created so that they are shared spaces amongst 3 and 4-year-olds and are appropriate for both ages. We won't see many changes really in a lot of things because we're already doing what's best for students, and included in that is a multi-age program.
So what will stay the same? The children will still spend 2 years in our pre-kindergarten program. The younger children will leave at 12:10. So those will be the children who are 3 turning 4. And then the older children who are 4 turning 5 would be departing at 1:40. And then in that time that the older children are at school, that will give us the opportunity to do some more focused learning with those children, as well as they will be having lunch at school. We've worked a lot on the physical learning environment in the early years in the last 2 years, developing our outside area that was being utilized by the pre-K3 and pre-K4 students, as well as a common indoor area. So that's something that will continue. We'll still be setting up learning areas that appeal to both 3 and 4-year-olds, as well as those who are closer to turning 5, because how they play can be quite different. And yes, the resources. We have ample resources in the pre-K at AISD, and they are appropriate for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Some of them are more open-ended, loose parts that, depending on the child's developmental stage, they will utilize them in what way they see best. And then there are other resources we have that are, maybe more concept focused and have a clear outcome. And then those resources will be available to the children and help support them with where they are in their learning journey.
We hope that this presentation helped you understand the pre-K program at AISD a little bit better and why we're moving to a multi-age setting. One question you still might be asking yourself is, what is going to be different now that AISD is making this change? Really, there's only going to be 2 things that'll be different. The first will be the way that the kids are grouped, having 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds in the same classroom. The other one is that generally our students, while they're in pre-K, will have the same teacher over the 2-year period. Other than that, our pre-K program remains relatively the same. We hope that this gives you the answers that you were looking for. If not, please feel free to reach out to us at AISD, and we will answer any questions that you have.